Hello
There's
there.
a.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say there's a Twitter topic going on right now about top 5 most impactful video games of your youth. Or important, whatever you want to call it. But yeah.
Sweet. Alright. Wanted to see. Welcome everyone to the Tragicast. This is your host, Seraph. I'm joined as always by Kevin. This is a nerdy podcast where we talk about video games and other nerdy things. Kevin, how was your week?
Pretty good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You're before last time we talked, your Braves clinched a World Series.
That is correct. First time in 26 years. We finally won one.
Yay! Well, congrats. I know that's really cool.
Yeah, especially being a Braves, Panthers, Hurricanes fan.
There's not much good to talk about.
Yeah, collectively in my lifetime, this is only the third championship those three teams have won.
Yeah. Wow.
But
at
on
least
the bright
not a
side,
bandwagon.
yeah. But on the bright side, I'm also a UNC fan, so we at least have that offset.
A lot more of that. So what did you do this week?
This week, the start of the week was watching World Series games, so I didn't play much there. Did do some Storybook Brawl during the day. The end of the week was more, I did pick up some MLB The Show again and played a few games on that.
Yep.
I got on to New World a couple times, but probably have less than 2 hours played over the past week.
Yeah, also didn't even pay your taxes.
That's true.
You're a tax evader now.
Yeah. That's and we played a little bit of Fall Guys over the weekend, so that's about all.
Yeah, I went to go play last night, but that sidebar conversation took the whole hour that I wanted to stay up.
Yeah, we saw that. We played a few games, and then your sister was like, "Where's he at?" And I looked on the Discord, and it's like, "He's still in that chat."
Jesus. I'm glad that they're passionate.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. But yeah, very similar to you. I don't know if this is just me. I'm waiting for something. I don't know what that something is, but it feels like I'm in a gaming rut, right? Like, Storybook Brawl is not exactly where I want it to be. It's still okay. It's not like horrible, right? But it's just, I need something else. Need something new. Same thing with New World. I'll jump on and I'll be like, what am I even doing? And then I'll play Yakuza 5, which is nice, because I like that series. But I don't know. I just feel like I'm waiting for something. I was hoping that when I looked at the new releases coming out this week, I would have been like, oh, this is it. And for me personally, disappointing.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get into it, and then we can go a little bit more into new releases that are coming out this week. We have Airborne Kingdom, which is coming out for everything. I was just like, oh, that's interesting, right? Until I looked up what Airborne Kingdom is. And don't get me wrong, if you like building sims, it's pretty cool. It's a sky building game. Like, you build your own city or settlement, but it's a sky kingdom.
Alright, so that's not the vibe I get from this art.
Yeah, you look at this and you think,
like, this is very Aladdin.
Like, yes! That's why I clicked on it. I was like, oh, I wonder if this is some weird adventure game, an indie game I haven't heard of. It's like, nope.
Yeah, it's not even just the background, or like the architecture. It's even the Aladdin text style.
It's very that Arabic flow, like, and maybe I'm wrong, and if I'm, any Arabic speakers can be like, nah, this looks nothing like that, dog. But I thought the same thing. I was like, this looks like an Aladdin type game. Like, I was expecting more of like a Sands of Persia or Sands of Time
when you do make it bigger and you can look at it a little better, I mean, you do see the airplane flying at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
But yeah, from that thumbnail, dog, I was expecting action adventure. And then, sort of interesting is the Disney Classic Games collection. So if we blow this one up, you'll see that it's Aladdin, Lion King, and The Jungle Book. So it looks like a remaster, or maybe even just simply a slap together on the Switch of the old school Dark Souls games.
Yeah, I think anybody that grew up gaming in the 90s probably had a copy of Lion King and probably didn't make it past the first level.
Yep. I had, on the Genesis, I had a Sega Channel, which was a subscription-based thing that had rotating free games. And Lion King, I remember when that and Aladdin both were in there. I played 10 minutes total and was like, oh no, I can't do this.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
That was a young one.
We used to have it on the Super Nintendo, the Lion King game, and we would legit sit, like me and all my cousins, and take turns just to see who could get the furthest. It wasn't trying to beat the game. It was a legit, like, arcade style, who can get the high score type thing.
Can't I even make it to the second scene? Oh man, I can see that. But yeah, I mean, in games of our generation, right? Like, definitely interesting, and I would definitely, if I could see people being excited for that. Football Manager 2022. If you were a fan of the Football Manager series, go for it, dog. Same thing with Forza Horizon 5. I understand that this is a big title. I know we were doing a pre-talk show where I was just like, man, isn't this where the peak's supposed to be? And for some people, this is the peak.
Yeah, I think there's a large group of gamers that have probably been waiting for 2 or 3 years for this game.
Yeah.
My brother may be one of them.
Is he playing it right now on Xbox or PC?
I don't know if he's a Forza person. He does do a lot of racing sims. He has a full racing sim set up, like steering wheel, everything. So he does do a lot of that. I don't know if Forza is one of them.
Gotcha. Yep. So, and you were telling me before some of your Grand Theft Auto RPers, the ones obviously probably focused on more of the racing and driving, have taken a break.
Yeah. So the funny thing is it's a lot of the top end, like the street racers and the interceptor drivers, the ones who are chase the street racers. Those are all the ones that are playing this right now.
Yep. Very
so yeah, there's probably not a lot of street racing going on.
So you're saying now is our time to strike.
Still got to get that no pixel invite.
That's right. I'm working on it. Jurassic World Evolution 2. Imagine if you liked 1, this is great. There you go. Among Trees is PC. It's an indie survival game. It's the only thing I really got from it. I have no idea what that means.
Oh, so this isn't a sequel to Among Us, where you're...
That's the best sequel.
Instead of trying to blend in with the crew members on a spaceship, you're trying to blend in with a bunch of treants. And you're just treants.
And voting the other treants out. There's an evil treant.
Yeah, and instead of just like ejecting you out into space, they cut you down.
Oh my god, like Lumberjack just comes.
Yeah.
If we ever enter a game jam, I now know which what our game's gonna be. Next one was Sprite Memory Infinite. When I tried to look up some more info on this, it was just like, yo, it's a shooter. I was like, alright. And you can purchase it, and that's all. There's like no related articles and nothing. I'm like, what the? Alright.
Yeah, it's got Stardew Valley in the related articles. Like,
what am I supposed to do with that? All right. And then we got the Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy, which for anybody, I quizzed Kevin before the show, and obviously he knew it. This is not 1, 2, 3. It is 3 Vice City and San Andreas. What's more messed up is I knew that from the cover art because I'm probably into hentai or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I will say that out of all the GTA games, I probably did put the most time into Vice City, so going back there wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Mine was San Andreas. So 3's got me introduced to the whole series. That's when I really started, and I backtracked to 2 and 1, which was totally different isometric view, but I still played it. They were still funny.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever played 3. I have played 2. I played 2. I played Vice City is where I got my start.
That's a good one to get on. I loved San Andreas though, because I just would make my dude work out and just be a buff dude.
Yeah, I did play San Andreas, but I borrowed it from someone, so it wasn't a just play or just jam this forever. It was I have it for like 2 weeks.
Yeah. So just hurry through as much content as you can, and then move on.
Yeah, I do say I put the most into Vice City as far as completionism, I guess. Time-wise, GTA 5 is probably still the most, just because it's bigger than everything else. So it took longer to actually do it.
Yeah.
And 4 sucked. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah. 4 is take my roommate out simulator, and that's when I stopped playing all.
Your cousin just keeps calling you.
Yeah. God, dude, get a life. Go play a video game or something. I don't know. And then the next series is another remake. Or not remake. Is that the? I always get those. It's a remaster.
It's a port.
Port. Yeah.
This is a port.
Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic. So they didn't change anything. They just updated it to the Switch.
Yeah, just straight port from the original game. And nothing new here.
If you only own a Switch, first off, join us in the next generation of consoles. But I understand that money doesn't go on trees, and that some of these next-gen consoles are very difficult for you to obtain. But if you only have a Switch, go ahead and pick it up. It's a great game. If you have other consoles, though, man, just wait for the remaster.
That's not entirely true.
No?
You have to have a PS5. It's a PS5 exclusive.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, it's PS5, so Xbox doesn't count.
Yeah.
So good luck. But if you can secure a PlayStation 5, I would just wait.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing, at least. And then this one angered me in a way that I don't know if I should be angry about. But how many times are you going to just sell Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim?
Alright, so actually looking at this, I didn't even realize this. This isn't even the anniversary edition. This is just the special edition coming to PS5. So there's another version coming out in a few months. So yeah, this is the special edition. This is the edition that's already out on the PS4. So I guess this is just the next gen.
Gotcha.
So I actually own this version already. There is an anniversary edition coming out. And from what I read yesterday, if you own this special edition digitally, you have to buy it digitally. That's the key here. You'll be able to upgrade to the anniversary edition for $20.
How many times am I going to buy this fucking game?
Now, so the special edition comes with all of the DLCs.
Okay.
So you don't have to buy any of the DLCs. The anniversary edition that's coming out comes with all the DLCs and all of the store stuff. I don't know if you've played it recently. They've added kind of like a mod store. You remember Fallout 4 had the mod store in it?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so they've added a mod store for Skyrim, and so the anniversary edition is coming with all of that stuff unlocked as well. So, I mean, you are getting something else, but it's still the same game.
You know
what, and I mean, at this point, if you're playing Skyrim, like, believe me, I love Skyrim. I've played it probably 6 times.
Yeah.
But at this point, don't buy this game on consoles.
Yeah. Yeah.
I originally played it on consoles. I love playing it on consoles, and when the next one comes out, if it comes out on PS5, I'll probably get it on console.
Yeah.
But at this point, mods are far advanced on PC.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
You
100%.
can get an entirely different game.
I can get all my companions naked mod.
Yeah, you can. And there are some mods out there that actually completely create a new game.
Oh, I don't doubt it. The modding community in general is usually like amazing. The stuff that you can import and do. So yeah, I agree with you 100%. Like, I would be skipping this and just buy the game on PC if you don't have it already, if you want a new experience.
Yeah, but anybody that's listening to this probably owns 1 to 2, 3, or probably 2 to 3 copies of this game already.
I have 3 copies.
I have 4.
I'm not doing it again.
I have it on PS3, PS4, PC, and VR.
Yeah, me and new Elder Scrolls, dog.
Yeah, that's kind of. I am not giving you any more money until you give me 6.
Yes.
That's where we're at right now.
I am boycotting. And then this last game is really interesting. Shin Megami Tensei 5. This was not a really big game in the West. So it's from the people that made Persona. It's Atlas. It's the same universe as Persona, but a different focal point. This is definitely more based off of the demons themselves than a story based off of rite of passage kids growing up. But I'm pretty sure Shin Megami Tensei came first, and that the Persona is a spin-off of that series. And the only thing that's stopping me is I just don't really feel like playing games on my Switch. I like my Switch for, when I'm out and about, but like I'd much rather have a trophy in like a PlayStation release. So, but other than that, I eventually probably will pick it up, but I'll definitely watch some streams. But yeah, other than that, man, like this is just not exciting to me. Maybe next week.
I don't know.
How about you? Before we switch and see what people are saying their most influential games are.
I think I did mention that the Disney one might be cool to pick up on the Switch. Not something I'm going to go out and pick up tomorrow when it comes out, but next time I go on vacation or something and I'm looking for a new game to put on my Switch before I go.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe it's that.
Yeah. I could see that, and that could be the same reason why I pick up Shin Megami Tensei. Like, next year I should be going to Portugal for a couple of weeks to see my grandparents. And that's a 6-hour flight, dog.
Yep.
So
I will tell you.
Time for that.
Good games to play on flights. Slay the Spire.
Yeah, we have that too.
Yeah, I had that on my Switch when I went to Chicago, and I played one game, and the plane was landing. Like...
That's crazy to think about, right? You're like, man, how much time has gone by?
Like I'm finishing up the game, and they're like, "Please put your seats in the upright position." It's like,
where did the time go? Oh man! So this is an interesting. What were the 5 most important video games to you throughout your youth or teen years? No curating to look cool / interesting, please. So his was Super Mario World, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, NHL 97, Pokemon Blue, and Guitar Hero. Cool. You want to go first on answering that one?
All right. So obviously I've got to start with the games that got me into gaming. Yep. I think those are always key. So those 2 games would be Donkey Kong Country on the Super Nintendo, as well as Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Those were the two biggest games of my childhood.
Yep.
When I first started playing, followed by the Pokemon series. Most specifically for me would have been Pokemon Silver.
Yep.
I did start with Blue, so I'm not saying I wasn't one of the kids that started with Silver or anything like that. I did start with Generation 1.
You're a Gen 1er.
But Silver was a far better game. People may blast me for that. It just was.
Deal with it.
Although a lot of people say Gold's better, but I mean, when you have a twin brother like I did, one of you got one and one got the other. So my brother got Gold and I got Silver. So it's just so for me it was Silver.
Yep, makes sense.
So
that's 3. You got 2 more.
So that'll get me through early childhood, late childhood, teenage years. Really big into the Kingdom Hearts series.
Yep.
Kingdom Hearts 2 was better than Kingdom Hearts 1, so if I had to pick one of the two, it would be that one.
Yep.
And then if we want to throw in this one's hard. College. I'll do college just to finish it out. This is weird. It's gonna either be Perfect World or Star Wars: The Old Republic, the MMO. One of those two. I played each of them for about 2 years. One was freshman, sophomore year, and the other was junior, senior. Yeah. Actually, no, it wasn't junior. It didn't come out to my senior year. So Perfect World probably did take up a little more of my college time. So we'll go with that. That's also what got me really big into MMOs. So it probably makes more sense.
All right, yeah, no, that's a good list, and I like the way that you structure that because that will help me structure it. So, the game that got me into gaming was, not to sound to look cool or whatever, was the original Legend of Zelda, like on an NES that my uncle had. I was way too young to be playing that game and doing well, but it didn't stop me from trying. And it really got me really interested in video games. I bothered my mother for many years straight to get a console system. You know, I missed the NES years, and instead of a SNES, I got a Genesis, which probably leads to the second game being the Sonic 3. That was, I don't think I have more time on any other game than that one. Just because it was the only game I had at one point. And then as I grew up and I got my first PlayStation, definitely the Final Fantasy series. 7 was the first one I played. It's the one that introduced me to JRPGs, and I love JRPGs, so that's got to probably go to 7. And then fast forward a little bit, and then MMOs. I was one of the people I was playing in World of Warcraft vanilla, not in the alpha like some people like to say in the New World. But yeah, just the vanilla WoW, and that experience in general was it was scary though, because I was truly addicted to that game. And it's one of those things where you don't, like, video game addiction is an addiction like anything else. Like I was not going to work to play that game. Like, yeah. Sheesh. Yeah, Sam's in here. So, yeah, so that's what, 4?
I think so.
Yeah, and then I backed off a lot of games after that. But I would say the last one. There wasn't too much after World of Warcraft. That was like kind of a blur, to be honest with you. That was like the only game that I played a lot of. I would go with Suikoden though. It's another JRPG that I fell in love with, and that was really good. So, kind of boring. A lot of it was just I think a kid that didn't know that he had ADD. Yeah. And was helping him struggle, going through life. Because a lot of those games I played like hours, it wasn't even an MMO, like, yeah, using that as my escapism and how to deal with shit. So probably an unhealthy view on how to actually, enjoy video games as a hobby. I like that as an adult. There's been weeks I haven't even played a video game because responsibilities, and adult shit takes away from it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying. The reason I dove so head first into Perfect World when I first did it, because Perfect World is by no means a perfect MMO.
No, it takes the grind out of, like, even what you think New World's a grind. Everything you told me makes Perfect World did that first, and it's more of a grind.
Yeah, plus it has a in-game store. So it is by no means a great MMO. But one of the reasons that I just dove headfirst into it was that someone told me about it like the same week I went through like a breakup, and it was like, this is here. Now I can get away from everything.
Yeah, escapism, dog. It's a little scary how our brains, especially in MMO, is so good at that. Being like, oh, you want to forget that the world exists? Cool. You'll live and breathe this world and this world only. Dude. Yep. Oh, well, now that I've made myself a little sad, let's go talk about something that is also sad for other people so I can take enjoyment out. No, I'm just kidding. I honestly, and this is going to try say real weird for me to say, right? But even though I'm not subbed to Final Fantasy XIV, I love the series. Like, I don't know, I'm not like, I finished Heaven's Ward, I think, and that's as far as my Final Fantasy XIV career has been.
Yeah.
And I still, like, I love the development team that's doing it. Square Enix is probably still one of my favorite developers, period. And I love the rags to riches story behind that game, right? The game that almost bankrupt them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to see it succeed. That, and if I ever retire and Final Fantasy is still around, I probably will sub if they're still on the sub model.
Retire?
Yeah, I'm on that early retirement track.
Final Fantasy XIV still going, and
in 10 years
they're already on Final Fantasy 42. Yeah.
Hey man, end goals. I got faith. So upon reading this article, I know you actually read the original post, where the highlight is they had to delay it for 2 weeks, and Yoshida himself was apparently very touching. Do you want to elaborate more on pretty much the synopsis?
Yeah, so I'm scrolling through Twitter the other day like I normally do, and I do follow Final Fantasy XIV on there, because we have talked a lot about games we played a lot of. I do think Final Fantasy XIV is the game I have the most time logged in, and it's something like 127 days.
Damn.
It's something ridiculous. Because I played before Heaven's Ward ever came out. I was on A Realm Reborn.
Yep.
And I played that straight through A Realm Reborn all the way up through Stormbringers, which was the latest expansion. So
yep.
I played solid through 3 expansions. And so I still follow it, and like you, I'll be back. I do want to finish this at some point, because especially now with this expansion, because this expansion is supposed to be the end of the narrative, the current story arc. So
for Alphanov,
reaching that end is something worthy, I think, of resubbing for.
Yeah, I can see that.
But so I still follow them, and they posted a thing, and it's like the title of it was something like important news or something regarding Endwalker, or
yep.
And before I even clicked on it, I was like, I know this is a postponement.
Yep.
Because it's just the way that they put it. But I clicked on it. It was an article. It wasn't even an article. It was a letter written from the director, explaining why they're pushing it back 2 weeks, which is not even a huge pushback. But basically, he takes the entire letter, taking full responsibility on himself for pushing this back 2 weeks. And basically what he says in it is that he played through the initial playthrough, which I assume would be like their alpha version. And he was not happy with the results. I don't know if that was a graphical thing he wasn't happy with, or if he wasn't happy with the story. He didn't really explain that, but there was something that he just was not happy with, and he felt like the game could be better. And so they were required to rework some of that stuff. And from what the letter said, it didn't give an exact timeline, but it made me feel like it was back in the summer when they did this, and they thought they could still hit the original release date. But as we approached it, which I believe it was supposed to come out November 21st, 23rd, so yeah. So as we get within like 3 weeks of it, or 2 weeks of it, they decided that they weren't going to hit that, and that they needed a couple more weeks for QA. So they were going to push it back for that.
Yeah, no, it definitely makes sense that, and he even gives something where he knows that people have taken off work, requesting time off so they could play the game.
Yeah, I did notice that he specifically mentioned that, and I was like, that's something that always comes up when these postponements happen. People always complain about that. Yep. And I have never seen a publishing company, a development company ever address that.
Yeah. It's like, I didn't make this lighthearted. I know that people have taken time off to play this game, and that it would be difficult for you to either, or sometimes impossible. And I'm sorry. Like, that's insane to me.
Yeah.
It's not, and like you said, it's not insane because obviously people do it. It's insane the fact that a developer, yet not even a developer, like a director, thought to include that in his apology, right?
Yeah. Which made that one sentence made this feel more genuine to me than anything else I've read. We've seen multiple postponements over the past 2 years, and it all just seems like just some BS, if you want to call it that they're just saving face thing that they're just putting out to address the issue, and they really don't care.
Yeah.
This seemed more genuine than anything that I've seen so far.
Yeah. And of course, maybe it's not to play devil's advocate. I like to see the better side though, and I honestly believe that he cares a lot. I mean, from what I understand about Yoshi P too, is he takes a lot of this stuff like to heart. Like, he really cares about his community. He really puts himself there with the community too. So
yeah, and this is also someone that you can tell really cares about this game specifically.
Yep.
Because he literally put his entire career on the line for this game.
Yep.
Had he not been able to turn this around, he would have never found work again in this industry.
No, yeah. You're right. That was quite the gamble.
Yeah, he could have easily just said, you know what, no, I'm walking away from this and I'm going to go get a job somewhere else. Yep. But he's like, nah, I believe in this game. And I mean, you can almost single-handedly give him credit for turning this game around from being a disaster of an MMO to one of the top 2 easily.
Yep. If you have made someone make a list out there, I don't see it never on the top 3, I would say.
Yeah. And some people will put it number 1.
Yep. I agree.
Stormbringer's actually, if you actually read any of the reviews from Stormbringer when it came out 2 years ago, there were these editorial things, and obviously you can't put a lot of credit into some of them, but there were multiple of them that called it the best expansion ever created for an MMO.
Which is insane, right? That's awesome though, and I do believe that. Like the only thing stopping me from is a submodel. I just don't. I feel like we're past that as an industry.
Yeah, I can see that. And mine is not even the fact of the submodel. The submodel does play into it.
Okay.
It's the fact that I don't want. Right now, this game takes. It's not a game that you can pick up and play for even an hour.
Yep.
To sit down and play this game, you need probably 3 hours minimum.
Easily. And that's the other thing why I joked about the retirement thing.
Yeah, and so, yeah. The submodel plays into that, the fact that I may only get 2 or 3 days a month where I can set aside those 3 hours. So,
and when you pay $15 a month to be like, I only played 3 hours, right? Like, it just doesn't. That's my rationale, right? Like, if we take me and you never play New World again, right? Let's say after, because we are kind of weaning, right? Let's not lie here. There has to be some injection of something new, right? Either other people need to start playing, and then we can start doing end game content, or something new has to be done and exciting. But either way, if we don't play again, we've calculated the hours, and I'm pretty sure we're both at, like, per hour for our how much we paid, a couple cents.
Yeah.
That's just good value. And if you look at stuff like that, there's times where I didn't get to log in when I was subbing for Final Fantasy. So it's literally like $15 where I didn't play.
And when I was playing this regularly, like when I was still in school and stuff like that, and I could afford to play this 3 or 4 hours a day, I was getting my subscription money worth. I was probably paying less than, and you look at the fact that I have like 100 and some days on it, it's probably less than like 1 cent an hour is what I was putting into it. But yeah, now the way that my schedule works and the play in it, I would be paying probably $1 to $2 an hour just to play this game.
Yep. Which is not horrible, but it's also just, it's rough, right?
Yep.
But yeah, I'm just like you. I don't see myself not coming back eventually to finish this game. For me personally, if they were to go to a buy-to-play model with more of a cosmetic shop or something to offset cost, or even paying for expansions is fine, right? Like, I would probably buy it.
Yeah. Oh, I will probably pick it back up. Maybe I actually may pick it up at the end of the month, because I've got like a week off at the end of the month, and then 2 weeks off in December. So
that's a good time.
There's 3 weeks that I could play it. So,
well, I mean, honestly, if you pick it up, then if you're gonna pull the trigger, let me know, because just
I won't be buying the new expansion at this point because I still have to get through the old one.
yeah, but I meant more if you turn your sub back on, let me know, because I'll probably turn mine on, because if anything I learned about New World is it didn't really matter that we were all in different phases. We all jumped in Discord.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be doing obviously different content than I would be doing, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I will say at the point you're at Stormblood now, and I thoroughly enjoyed Stormblood. I did not like Heavensward a lot.
Yeah, Heavensward seemed very grindy.
But Stormblood was really good.
Yeah, I just need to force you to do that duty with me, and then I can probably move on and enjoy myself a lot more.
Yeah.
But, alright, well, let's move into the last part. Sadly, we cannot talk about Critical Role's last episode, so you don't have to worry about spoilers, because, yet again, I missed the recap, and at 3 o'clock when they posted on YouTube, I was sleeping.
Well, we still hadn't talked about episode 2.
That is true. So let's do a season 2. Are you going to be able to distinguish between 2 and 3?
Yeah, you'll probably have to drive it, but okay. I think I can.
Yeah, so
2 starts with the combat.
Yes, with the old man, Lord Astaroth. beating the shit out of oh god, what's her character's name?
Who?
God, Marisha.
Oh, Laudna?
Yeah, Laudna. It's like beating the shit out of her. And what like he was
Orem.
just like Orem, yeah, he was just slamming the shit. I was just like visibly just like based off the stuff. I was literally like watching going, "Oh god." Yeah.
The best part about it though is how it ends, where Laudna actually gets the frightening off on him.
Is he still scared of me? He's like, yes.
That was great. I will say, I don't know if you probably don't follow any like Critical Role conjecture, like conspiracy theory type things.
No, I do not. Go ahead.
Some of the stuff I have seen is Esteros is an orc, right?
Yeah.
Or,
either full or half.
Yeah, you might not pick this up as easily because you haven't seen Campaign 2, but there is a theory that Esteros is Ford, who is Travis's character from Campaign 2's real father.
Oh, wow.
Because he doesnn't know who his father is.
Yeah, I could see that.
So some people have thrown that out, and another thing is Matt has actually interwoven all the campaigns like that at some point with like crazy things like that.
Yep. I feel like that's the best part of like campaign settings, right? Where you weave things together that your players don't see, and then when the reveal happens, if it ever happens, sometimes it never does, right? But when it does, people are like, "You planned this." Like, you know, that realization of being like, this was, and you had it even in your campaign where it's like, oh my god, this was like back in session 2.
Yeah, we had one that took a full year for you guys to culminate. But one of the big ones from Matt, and this is going to be a big spoiler for Campaign 2, so I'm sorry. I know you haven't seen it, but it does drive home the point. So you know Campaign 1, there's the whole arc for Marisha's character is completing her Aramente and possibly finding her mother, which she never does. Marisha's, or not Marisha, Keela's mother shows up in Campaign 2.
Damn.
She is a key NPC in Campaign 2, and Marisha does not figure it out until the very last second.
Wow, really?
Sam picks up on, he's the first one to pick up on it. And you can see he's just like super giddy when it's finally clicking with Marisha.
When he finally figures out, he's sitting there like, oh.
Yeah.
That's the fun stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, Matt has been known to put parents into other campaigns, so it will be quite funny to see if that actually comes true.
That would be really cool.
There's also some stuff about some people were thinking that fresh cut grass was just a reincarnation of Dodie.
Oh. Oh man. Fresh cut grass is amazing.
I had seen some other ones that I can't remember now, but yeah, there's some wild things out there. But
man, you give somebody a topic and the conspiracy theories will always fly.
All right, so you did watch episode 2 though, so that was the one where you learn where Laudna's from Whitestone.
Yes.
And the rat.
Yes, that she names.
So Fresh Cut Grass's naming thing was probably the highlight of episode 1. The rat is the highlight of episode 2.
I agree with that. Even though I do like the mental image of when they're doing their stakeout of Orm realizing that he's just in complete darkness and Laudna's like speaking creepily in his head. And then just someone's knocking on the door.
It's not much of a spoiler, but that carries on into episode 3.
Oh,
so that's gonna stick.
Oh, good. Because that shit was hilarious. It's like poor Aram. And what I love is every time she would say something, all the others would be like,
yeah. But it's also great that they did all this planning on how
Yep.
to do this stakeout, and then they send in the one guy who can't see in the dark.
Well, that and like everything quickly as always, which I do love because anybody who's ever DM'd a session knows exactly. You formulated a good plan, right? And then for some strange reason,
You panic.
you panic and everything goes to shit. All right, Worm, go in. All right, I'm gonna wait for Worm out here. All right, well, we're gonna chase her.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was good. It's still entertaining. It's still amazing. I can't wait to actually start watching episode 3.
Yeah. Episode 3. Most of it is similar to episode 2, but the ending of it is where it really kicks in.
Yeah, well, you're the one who I remember you telling me it's like this one's really good. So
yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah, that one I've watched a lot of Critical Role.
Yeah.
And this episode was probably the one episode that I've watched that was like, all right, I need to see the next episode right now. And this happens to be the only time I've ever watched live.
Where you're up to date. Oh, no.
I can't go to the next episode right now.
Fresh cut grass. Oh, man. Well, now maybe I'll try to time it so I watch it later. Jesus. Who am I kidding? I'll be watching tomorrow at work. But yeah. Along in D&D news, we also had another continuation of our campaign. I really feel sorry for you as a player character because I feel like everything was happening away from you and for like almost 2 hours and waiting for our other players.
Yeah, but at the same time, I kind of knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But I still made that choice consciously because I felt like it was the appropriate one.
Yep, and it made sense. I just don't... I want everyone to kind of have fun and play, right? So, but based off of other people's decision, what makes sense. I know that was a lot of waiting for you.
Yeah, but to be fair, I did DM for 2.5 years, so...
You understand.
It's a lot of waiting. Some of that's a lot of waiting just by yourself anyway.
True. So not to go too much into it, obviously we have a D&D session. You can catch it here on the School of Tragikarp channel under its own playlist. Things have been going in an interesting direction. I don't know how the campaign is going to still continue even after the aftermath here, but
yeah,
that's not on me. So
yeah, that was actually something that I talked to your sister about last night when we were playing Fall Guys. Is we're at a position now where my character, I don't feel like she has a reason to be here anymore.
Yeah.
So, because like the only reason she climbed the tower was to get the money to get the armor refitted, which she has now. So she has no other reason to climb the tower again.
Yeah.
So I also think that she's cognizant of this fact as well.
Yeah.
That she knows that she no longer has a reason to do it, but so what I'm thinking about doing at the start of the next session is I had already made the plans to go with Silver to the armor and get the armor fitted, and while that was going on, because I assume that'll take a few hours or whatever, she was going to go look for a reason.
Hey, that works. I'm actually glad that you say that because I have several different plot lines, and only really 2 of them have anything to do with the tower.
Yeah.
So there's big chances that you stumble upon some of the other stuff. There's stuff that I don't know if Emiko as a character cares about, right? Like, why is Perryville willing to one, buy the Amulet of Evil off us for a useless artifact, and make us such a ludicrous offer?
Yeah.
If she cares to find out, that's something she could, look further into, right? when she gets to Diagon and gets on the armor, while she's waiting for that to be repaired, there's actually something else there too. So like, I don't know, maybe stuff will point her back to the tower, maybe not. That's you as a player to decide, right? The tower is not integral for my campaign to go on. So
yeah, I do think what I was planning on doing, since you're the DM, I can tell you so you can prepare appropriately.
Yep.
We were gonna do the armor, and then I was gonna suggest going back to the college because I feel like it's kind of weird. The two people that I feel like she trusts the most at this point, are Thevrin.
Yep. Which is funny as your old character, right?
Yeah, and oddly Silver.
Yeah.
And I think the reason that she trusts Silver the most is that he wasn't afraid to stand up to her, and she kind of respected that.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense. How about Kay?
Yeah. But Kay is just...
It doesn't count, right?
Yeah, it's not that she doesn't distrust Kay or anything like that, as she does some of the others. She's not sure about Donar, and she has no trust for Ez at the moment.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, Kay is more of the sidekick, if you will, is kind of how she looks at it.
My personal sidekick.
I think that's just kind of how she looks at it at the moment. But
oh, poor Kay. He doesn't even get regulated to friend zoned. It's sidekick zoned. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah. So yeah, I think what she was planning on doing was taking Silver to go meet with Thevrin and talk and see if there was if Thevrin or even Silver could provide a reason for her to stay. Because if not, because if not, she would probably try to go back home, or at least to her home continent, not necessarily to her home.
Yeah, obviously that would be.
Yeah,
that would be difficult.
Yeah, but yeah, she didn't plan to come here. She just kind of got pulled here, so it was.
It would make sense for her to want to go back home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll give me a good headspace where to go in terms of, Yeah,
because I don't know what you're thinking. I know the Merchants Guild had or wanted to sponsor people to go up in the tower, and I don't know if the college does the same thing. So maybe that's something that she could. She's kind of thinking that thought is in her head, but not necessarily. She doesn't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I will let you know, Thevrin has not sponsored anybody, but he would sponsor this group.
All right.
The sponsorship, though, won't be obviously as really ludicrous.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. It's like, we got sponsored this much money, we want a match.
Yeah. And for him, like, what he gets out of this is knowledge.
Yeah.
So he doesn't care about, like, you keep all the items. You don't have to worry about that. I don't care about the gold.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be interesting. It'll be an interesting conversation. We'll see where it goes. Yeah, because that one will be cool. But yeah. Overall, I hope everyone is still enjoying it. I know at least my dragon-based folk, Donar and Silver and Ez, are, and that compendium I've gotten for the Dragonborn is really the Fizzban's Treasure Trove of Dragons, whatever it's called. I say it like I can't just look right here. Where is it? Source books. Fizzbane's Treasure of Dragons. That was close. It's a really good book. Gave me some good examples to do with your sword, which is dragon based. It gave me some items to use too, also in the campaign, and some stuff to flex in and throw into my world. For the people that care about the dragon stuff. If you run a campaign or an in campaign and has nothing to do with dragons, I'd probably skip this one. But yeah, if you have anything with dragons, it has some really cool ideas in there. But yeah, overall, I want Emiko to become this ultimate fighter. So I'll give her reasons to want to test her mettle, right?
Yeah.
That, and I'll tell you as a player character, because I know you're able to distinguish the difference. There is an arena in the entertainment district.
Nice.
So where people simply just go to obviously fight, right? Like gladiator style, and except not gladiator style, like where they're indentured servants. Everyone's of their free will. And obviously, usually it's not to the death or anything crazy like that. But there are undermarket.
Yeah, I can't wait till she upgrades this sword and then goes in there and then casts darkness and no one can see what's happening.
Yeah, people can be really pissed. This is
and
a
it just
show.
ends with the darkness dissipating and her just standing on top of somebody.
Yeah, battle's over. Aww.
With a scratch on her. It's like
everybody watching is just like, boo. We didn't even see anything. God, that'd be great. But yeah, gotta think of more through lines. I've got tower stuff on. I already have floor 1 and floor 2. Again, the resetting campaigns on those. I also have several plot lines waiting in the dust, so we'll see which one around the city and motives and some's politics, some's thieves guild, some's the arena based, because if you remember from the one shot, there are 2 people we have not seen yet.
Yeah,
we have not seen Stavano, and we have not seen God, what was her character's name? I have it in my notes, but our half orc lady chick that entered the tower looking for her sister.
Yep.
Nas, thank you. Yeah. And I know where they both are, obviously. And we just haven't.
Well, if I had to venture a guess, Nas would be in the arena.
Yes, you called it!
And let's see, where would I put Stefano? Stefano is completely full of himself.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. I did not put him in a place though that is, it's almost counterintuitive to what you would know about Stefano.
I was thinking something political motivated.
Yes! Oh my god, you're right! That's wow, man. You read me like a book. He's there is, and I could tell you this, right? Because you're not going to run with this, and you're not going to tell anybody. There is a resistance to the current government in Tower and of Monswaya. He is the leader of the resistance.
Interesting.
Yep.
All right.
Well, obviously, more information and how and where, what. But all right, well, let's close this up. Really, this should be really quick because I imagine there's really nothing changing for you.
Not a whole lot.
Yeah, it's more Storybook Brawl, maybe. More New World, maybe.
Yeah.
And then probably some MLB The Show, and I'll be playing Yakuza 5 with you.
Yeah.
Maybe some Fall Guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the only game right now where if we all wanted to jump on, that'd probably be what we play, unless we do a Jackbox on Friday.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well,
somebody's got to beat me at trivia still.
You have no idea how much that hurts me. I am going to do it. I am going to beat you, just so you know.
Probably. You'll probably get a thing where I'll get a run of questions I don't know. It does happen. I do have a large trivia base, but I do have some major blind spots.
God, well, the show needs to stop hitting those when you're on, you have to get all these right.
Yeah.
I feel like every time you get everything right, I'm always like, what the fuck?
I did get all of them right on the perfume one.
Yeah, the perfume. That's right. I was like, what the fuck? I might start recording those for the channel. That would be fun. So might be Jackboxes Friday for anybody who's in for a laugh, or you can even join the audience poll. I hope to catch everyone later, and I hope to see you around.